Hey, what's up? It's Elliott. If you want to come see us live doing stand-up comedy, baby. Wow, the only true art form left is what some people would say. You can see our esteemed guest, Grant Winkels, will be at Comedians You Should Know in Brooklyn, November 8th. That is Brooklyn, New York City, Comedians You Should Know. And hey, you should know that comedian. He's a very funny dude. So that'll be November 8th. Check him out. If you want to see Tommy, he will be touring with Kelsey Cook and Becky Robinson through the end of the year, and then headlining in Orlando, Boston, and Fargo. So check that out. Tickets and dates at somekidtommy.com. And if you're wondering where that comes from, hey, we answer it in this episode. And as always with Arijana and myself, if you want to see us live doing stand-up comedy, baby, that's going to be my Mark Norman thing. Anyways, you can come see us live. Check out our websites for dates, social media as well. Enjoy this episode. It's a very fun one. Thank you again to Comedy on State for letting us do it. Enjoy.
Oh my God.
Comedy on State, how we doing today? Can you believe we packed 38,000 people into this room?
I feel like I'm in Madison Square Garden.
Hey, speaking of Madison Squares, good choice coming out tonight, not going to concert for the Squares, am I right? Yeah. I've been saying that joke for 10 years. This is the biggest pop it's ever gotten.
With our 2-person audience.
Yeah.
I love that. I hope I don't offend anyone with this, but Madison seems like a place where there's not much to do. And yet, okay, I would think that our live podcast, people would be tearing the doors down to come, listen to us.
Well, I think Madison is still getting podcasts, so
yeah, they're late.
They're working on it.
It's a big boom where we are, but
yeah.
here not so much. I'm excited to be here, though. It's really nice that they let us do this here. Like, it is more expensive to keep these lights on than
yeah, if everyone could just make sure to buy like $8,000 worth of drinks tonight, that would just really
we want it to
really
be
help
both
us out.
The least attended show, but also the most profitable.
Yeah, on paper, we want this to make no sense at all. We want the bookkeeper to be like, someone's lying. This is a front.
Yeah. Burning the light, weird.
Burning the light.
Do you want to explain what that means for the 3 people here who are?
Yeah, I'll get into it. So burning the light, if you're not familiar, it's a bit of an industry term. So you have your time right on stage, and to let you know how much time you're at, they'll flash a little light at the back. That means you got to wrap up, you got to get off, and if you go over that time, you are burning the light. So
and it's rude. It's very rude.
And it is very rude.
And I plan to go long tonight.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a Joe Rogan style 4 hours. All right. We're gonna get into everything under the sun. Aliens. What do we think about them?
Well,
we'll save it for later.
I do have thoughts and opinions.
Okay.
I'm not interested in aliens, though, to be honest.
Why?
I'm just I know that something's out there. Can we stop talking about it? I care more about ghosts. That's what I care more about.
You think that's what we should be?
I think that's a more interesting topic of conversation, but we don't have to get into it tonight.
No, we
have time. You know how I feel about ghosts.
That is true.
No, okay. I'm excited though. This will be fun. This is better. We usually record in my living room.
Little peek behind the curtain.
Yeah. And to be honest, there have been more people in my living room than there are here tonight, which is truly astounding.
But this is a bigger room, so you know.
It's a big deal. Should we bring up our first guest?
Well, I was gonna say, is it your second time in
things
Madison? What do you think so far? Besides,
I'm
just
scared now.
shitting on its nightlife.
They hated when I came for anything. I actually like Madison. Can I say something really stupid though? The first time I visited, I don't know. I like to think I'm fine at geography, but I didn't realize that it was surrounded by water. And I got here and I was like, oh my God, there's water everywhere.
Oh yeah, Ariana's deathly afraid of water, by the way. She does have rabies, long-standing rabies.
Wait, is that how rabies
Yeah, you're hydrophobic.
That's
You've
not
never
true.
seen a video of someone with rabies? We could just pull up one on our phones right now
is that,
and just show it around.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why?
Because then it kills you.
The water.
No, the
kills.
rabies.
Oh. That makes more sense.
Yeah, rabies changes your cells, so water kills you. No, you've never seen. I'll show you one later. It's pretty fucking wild.
For some reason, I still don't believe you, but
no, it's wild. You'll hand someone like a glass of water, and they'll like.
That feels like a It's Always Sunny episode.
Well, life imitates art.
You know, that's we also have to mention It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia at least once every episode. It's kind of our drug. Don't say it. You can ask the audience.
All right, if we were debating about this upstairs before the show. If how were we phrasing it? Since you were very particular about phrasing.
Are cigarettes drugs? Yes or no? Please chime in.
What?
Immediately 2 yeses. They are drugs. Cigarettes are a drug.
If someone says I've never bought drugs, yeah, well, there that was the voice of reason. So, someone says I've never bought drugs, and you're like, oh, okay. Do you think they're including cigarettes in that? There
Tony, don't try and
No,
bring the back.
Tony
I'm
can
sick
chime
of
in.
your ass. No, yeah, okay. Listen, I grew up very No, I grew up very well. I had a lovely family.
That's why you never needed drugs.
That's why I never needed drugs. No, I just was a late bloomer. I didn't drink till I was like 20, almost 21. Didn't have my first sip of alcohol and never had a cigarette. And I made it a point this year, I'm 29 now, to buy cigarettes. And I bought them for the first time. And I was telling people that I was easing my way into buying drugs by buying the cigarettes.
Didn't smoke the cigarettes either, just has them.
I own them. I don't want to lease. Like that's like how it works. Like now I just have that one pack forever, and it's mine.
You were
and
going
I'm
to go
proud
through
of myself.
such
And
a wild patch.
I
It's
know,
gonna
and
be
I
wild.
didn't even get the pack I wanted. I got Parliaments. I didn't want that. I
What did
wanted
you
the
want?
long, thin ones. I wanted the Virginia
Oh, yeah,
Slims.
Virginia Slims,
Yeah. I thought that would be the look for me.
Yeah, well,
but
our culture is not your costume, so
oh, wow.
you get what you get.
Okay, well, I'll die on this hill that cigarettes are drugs. I'm just going to say it. Okay, we've been up here 5 minutes, and you managed to turn the whole audience against me. The whole audience.
Welcome to my city.
God. Give it up if you're from Madison and you're here tonight. Yeah.
Give it up if you're from not this country and you're here tonight. International audience.
Get him. No, I mean
It's light, but it's wide.
Yeah.
It casts a wide net.
we got listeners all over the globe.
Yeah, I've checked the analytics. We've got a couple in India who are for sure
Do we
real.
really?
I think so.
The way I don't even look at the analytics. I'm sorry. Like we set up all this stuff.
Well, I was
for
like,
the
no, I'm
podcast.
lying. I just want to seem cool.
Yeah, that would be cool though. I wonder if we have any from Bosnia though.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's true.
Ariana's Bosnian, by
yeah,
the way.
by
It
the
wasn't
way,
just
I'm
like
not
a
just
random.
Curious. No, it's mostly just a bunch of Serbians.
Boo.
Yeah, boo.
There
yeah.
we go.
Thank you guys so much. Boo.
Let's just turn this. You know what?
Serbians.
Keep the cameras rolling. We're just going to do
Yeah.
anti-Serbian
Yeah.
shit for the next hour and a half.
I could do it.
Go up.
I could
and you
do
know
it.
what? We're going to sit our asses down and we're going to listen.
We're gonna. You know what? You know what? I see you. I hear you, and I'm gonna listen, and I am, and I'm gonna do that, and I think it's gonna be really really good for 3 people.
Speaking of really, really good, are we ready to get our freaking guests up here?
I think so. They
All
don't
right,
seem
never
ready.
mind.
They don't seem ready. It's gonna be good.
All right,
It's gonna
well,
be good.
Ariana's going to talk about Serbia, so this is what you chose.
You know. Okay. Well, so here's the thing, guys. Serbia isn't a real country, and
Woo! Right off the bat.
I could do it. I could do it so fast.
What if a huge group just walked in right
Dude,
there?
they found me on TikTok. I have to tell
The
you.
Serbians?
The Serbians have found me, and they are upset.
Okay.
They are upset that I exist.
You think they're boycotting this? That's why.
That's why there's no one here.
That's why there's
yeah.
only 38,000 and not 40,000.
Yes,
'cause
we
they're-
almost sold out. We almost sold out this arena show.
Yeah, don't tell the fire marshal how many people are in here.
I
by the
know.
way.
No, they did. They did leave some mean comments on my reels, on my comedy reels.
Like
Mostly
what?
just telling me that Bosnia isn't a real country and that I don't exist, which is crazy. Because I've been here and I've gone.
This
through
is how
some
you find
shit.
out you've been dead.
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Whole life.
Yeah, it's just the most insane stuff. But and then what pisses me off is that they'll always comment in Cyrillic, which is like their language. It looks like Russian Cyrillic, and then I have to go translate the mean comment that they left, which is just so fucked up. Like at least like we all know how to spell, you know. So I'm like on Google Translate, just like looking up what people are commenting to me, and that I'm not a real person, and it's
I picture you getting a comment and being like, "Oh, well, maybe this is a good one."
Yeah,
You
no,
push it
it's
and go,
never good.
"Ah."
If it's in characters, it's never
Every
good.
single
Like I've
time.
never gotten one that's nice. But
You ever had
yeah.
someone go off on you in wingdings?
Oh my god. How
Are you gonna say yes?
No, but how do you do that on a phone?
You gotta really want it.
You gotta really want it.
You gotta
yeah.
go onto a computer, type it.
I love that. That's crazy. That's actually a very interesting font in the font book I read that I told you
Okay.
about.
Speaking of wingdings, are we ready for our hilarious
I think
guest?
we're ready. I think we're ready.
All right. Who are we doing first?
Let's do Grant.
All right. Coming to the stage, all right. You know him. You love him. He's coming here. He's joining us from Minneapolis, which, hey, might as well be a different country, am I right? And he works at Sisyphus Brewing, one of the best, one of the one of the best venues in Minneapolis. And he also has a podcast called We Cool. And this guy is cool. Make a lot of noise right now for Grant Winkels.
Oh my God.
Got it.
Thanks for joining us, bud. Thank you. Have a seat wherever you'd like.
Yeah, you
wherever
get
you'd
first
like.
pick.
Pick your poison here.
gonna
Who do you want to sit closer to? The person that doesn't believe in drugs or
Or a
Elliott?
real badass.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with the drug person.
Thank you so much.
all right,
Thank
I'm
you.
sitting.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
sitting.
We're so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much for
joining
having me.
us.
Yeah.
You came all the way here just for this.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I blew the budget out for this one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The festival is now losing money.
You
because
owe
I'm
us
here.
money, actually. You have to
Yeah.
pay to be on this podcast.
Just send me your
Yeah.
Venmo.
Yeah.
I'll get to it.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have a child being born right now, too.
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh wait, the way I was fully like, I didn't know you
Yeah,
had
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
yeah, my wife went into labor 18 hours ago,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
3 hours in, I was like, "Babe, I gotta go do Burning the Light." You know?
Yeah,
And
you
so-
said
a
Hollywood
huge
is
deal.
calling.
And
Yeah.
my phone's on Do Not Disturb, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm a professional.
That's a
though.
joke. He doesn't have a
You don't
child
need
being
that.
born right now.
Yeah, I got that way after the fact. I'm too sincere. It makes me gullible.
Yeah, we met 5 minutes ago, and you said 10 of the craziest things I've ever heard within that time, including the cigarette debate, which has been going on for the whole time I've known you now.
Months.
So
I didn't even bring it up. That's not my fault. I didn't
Yeah.
bring it up.
Yeah.
Everyone is just pigeonholing me into this cigarette discussion that I didn't want to have. But wait, what else have I said that's crazy? I like to
you
think I'm
had some
pretty cool.
interesting thoughts about magic upstairs, which I really I hesitate to even float.
We
that
ain't
boat.
talking the card game.
Yeah.
I like.
You can say that again, Elliott.
I think magic is cool. I'm gonna say it. Okay.
And we
I'm
ain't talking the
sorry.
card game,
It's
right?
controversial. Wait, how is that not? How is like a sleight of hand thing not cool to you?
It's more just the general vibe of the whole thing. You know what I don't like. Maybe it is cool, but I don't. Do we consider stand-up cool? Because I do consider stand-ups like you don't, right?
You consider stand-up magic.
Well,
You say
When-
we're up here doing magic.
when I'm up here, baby.
I think magicians and comics are very similar.
They're one shade apart. You're like
yeah.
you're like one weird drop as a baby apart from being a comedian or a stand-up or
Yeah.
what.
I might. I'm gonna say something controversial. I might even argue that magic requires more skill.
I don't think that's controversial at all. I think that's just true.
Like to me, it's so like you don't understand how hard these magicians train to learn these tricks.
You see what I mean? Are you guys getting the vibe? Like this is
so serious.
this is minute 11 of me knowing her, and I was getting a lot of pushback on what. But come on now.
Okay, listen.
You're talking about them like they're fucking firefighters from 9/11. You don't understand what they went through.
Not enough people talk about how many magicians died in 9/11.
Okay.
We
actually.
lost a lot of good
Yeah.
men being sawed in half.
Yeah. It was all the guys on the plane, actually. They made those towers disappear, and there were no...
And
there
we
was
ain't
no
talking
sleight of
the car
hand
gang.
there.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Hey, 9/11 has already come up.
David,
oh
David
my God!
Blaine.
Okay, so the other thing is we always mention 9/11.
Okay,
like,
all right.
Every
Because we never
episode.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hacky, but we're here.
You're saying 9/11 is hacky?
Yeah, it's hacky.
Whoa!
It's been done.
What
It's
the
been
hell?
done.
Yeah, it's been done. Yeah, I was thinking we're going to do 9/11 again, and we're going to get it right this time. That's what I'm
We'll
thinking.
do it.
you know
But
what I mean?
second time's the charm.
Yes.
We're going to get it right.
We'll do it. We'll do it. All right.
Would you call 9/11-2 9/11-2 or 9/12?
Great question.
Well, what if it's on the 10th?
That would be a prequel, I think, at that point. And with the way the Marvel universe is expanding, you never know.
All I know is this time we hit the Pentagon. Oh, we gotta cut that.
They
did.
We're keeping in it.
We
Yeah, they did.
absolutely
Yeah.
have to cut that.
They did
We
hit the
do.
Pentagon, and depending on what part of YouTube you're in, apparently that was the part where a lot of debt records were stored. So
Ooh.
do with that as you may.
Go
Find
off.
me after
Yeah.
the show. I'll put you onto some things.
Yeah.
Go off. I like how you joked about this turning into Joe Rogan, and we're fully there now.
Oh,
baby.
I'm gonna eclipse Joe Rogan. I'm gonna make him look like a fucking nerd.
Okay.
Couldn't think of anyone.
Fucking nerd. Gosh, we're so excited to have you also because you kind of saved the day. Insider
Sort of like a magician.
baseball here. Yeah. Hello. Magic is
I do
cool.
not sign off on this connection.
I'm
they
on
just made.
9/11 conspiracies. You're on magician conspiracies.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
are we not connecting these dots?
Yes. No, literally. But no, you did. I'm
Literally.
saying, guys, I believe in magic.
But you don't care about aliens.
They're real. It's done. We did it.
Okay, so aliens are like 9/11.
If
Already
I,
been done.
If I meet an alien that's similar to human, sure, I'll be pumped. You know what I mean? But like,
What if
like-
magicians are aliens?
no, because I understand. I'm not that big of a dum dum to know that they are learning a trick and they're tricking us. Aliens would
Or-
just have the powers.
They're bringing other galaxies' power to our galaxy. That's it. I'm not even. You guys don't deserve the rest. I'm gonna be honest.
We'll do
all
the
right?
research. I'm
I'm gonna write
become
a
an
whole blog
astronaut.
post about this.
Yeah, it's on.
Hey, I'm gonna tell
Infowars.
you right now. If I wind up dead somewhere with 2 shots to the back of the head, it ain't a suicide. Okay, they just didn't like what I was saying.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
I was saying some stuff that they didn't want out
Yes.
there that
They
Joe
just don't
Rogan
like
is too
you.
afraid to
Yes.
say.
Another victim of the deep state.
Yes.
Yeah. You look up Clinton and
The Clinton body count.
and the
Here we
and the
go,
pi- the
baby.
We've
pizza
already
place.
strayed. So I love how upset you are about the fact that I don't give 2 shits about aliens.
Yeah,
It is
it's pretty
upsetting,
fucking
I'll be
rude.
honest. Especially with the left field lobs you've been throwing
Yeah.
already. To
Think
hear
about how
you take-
far they travel.
To hear you take a hard stance on aliens is just a little bit jarring, I'll be
I mean,
honest.
ghosts are just cooler, and I don't know why they have to be in competition when they're 2 separate things.
We didn't
but
say they had
are.
to be in competition.
I know.
You
I
put them
did.
in competition.
I put that.
Who would
out
win
there.
in a fight, or a ghost or an alien, as long as we're going here?
Ooh.
No question asked.
What?
They're on a different field of like energy
Of being.
of being. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is an alien.
Yeah.
No, they're coming around. They're here. The UFOs are here. It's happening. But we've strayed so far.
I agree.
This is what
I
every
agree about
podcast
the
is
Listen,
like.
aliens.
all I was trying to say was thank you for doing our podcast. Meanwhile, I'm being attacked.
Yeah, all I was trying to say was the goddamn truth.
Yeah.
So.
You know. No, we this was the Insider Baseball here, guys. So we were supposed to have a different guest tonight, and they had to unfortunately drop out because of a rental car issue. And so
It was Joe Rogan.
Another victim of the deep state.
Yes.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
yes.
And the person working the counter at the rental car place, Hillary.
Mm-hmm. Where are the emails?
Coincidence?
Where are they? I
Where's
don't
the
know.
confirmation number?
Probably
We don't know.
Yeah.
It might be on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Wow, these jokes are from 8 months ago.
These jokes are from 6 years ago, actually.
And they're still hitting. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, but thank you so much for saving the
Oh,
day and
I'm so
stepping
happy.
in.
So
Because
happy to be
Thank you for
basically
being
what
here.
happened was our other guest, who I'll introduce in a second here, I called him to be like, you might be the only one tonight, bud. It might just be you. And he was like, well, I'm in the car with another straight white man. And I thought, great, let's get him on. He literally verbatim said,
Where you bring in the big dog.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought enough of
Yeah.
their voices being silenced.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we need
to hear.
a platform
Yeah.
where they can be themselves.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So thank you for the last minute save here. We know you've been looking forward to this for months,
You are welcome.
just like we have.
That what was
This
that
is just-
insincere?
No, I am sincere to a fault. Unfortunately,
Okay.
it's
All
one
right.
of my best and worst qualities. Can't lie.
But who's counting?
But yeah, who's counting? But are we ready for our next guest, you guys? Yes.
Hell yeah.
He's
Wow.
gonna love that.
38,000 people going wild.
Our next guest, kind of a huge deal, you guys. He was recently named a new face at JFL, which is an amazing comedy festival up in Montreal. He also opens on the road for Kelsey Cook and Becky Robinson, just to name a few people. Please give it up for Tommy Brennan. Yes.
Yes.
Thank
I was
you.
Welcome.
really I was enjoying myself out
Yeah,
there.
what are your
I'll be
thoughts?
honest.
What are your thoughts about anything that has been said in the
Kind
last
of a hot
8
pod
minutes?
so far. I do appreciate that you let everyone know that Grant was Plan B
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
I
this
have
was not
to.
our first choice.
Yep.
He's absolutely a last second fill
And
in.
you know what? 10 minutes in, already love you, bud. You're the best.
Thank
You're
you
so
so
great.
much.
There you go.
Wait,
I'm not sure he feels
you
the
know-
same, but that's a nice.
I think I've made that
nice
clear. All right.
sentiment.
You know what? I'm divisive, and that's fine.
My other thoughts, I don't know. Ariana
Uh-oh.
claimed that you turned the whole audience against her right away, but the audience is his family, so I'm not sure they were with you.
Honestly,
right
it's
away.
cool having him
Yeah.
back on my side.
This
This
is a
just
big moment.
undid years of work. So
Oh, good work.
shout
actually,
out to Chrissy, Elliott's mom, for being here.
Yeah.
Number one fan of the
Chrissy.
pod.
Mama G, Mama G in the
Yes.
house.
Yeah.
Are you wearing the merch?
She's
too?
wearing his
Yeah, it's my
merch.
merch.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom's not here. So
No.
Well,
Fucking bitch.
yeah, she's kind of the worst now. Yeah. It's kind of, you know what?
Yeah, we're
That's
all
very
thinking it. I'm
funny
just
to me.
saying it. Okay.
That is very funny to me to like be fake mean to my mom
Yeah.
because she's
Said it on the line.
the loveliest person in the world. But like I always find it so funny because I was such a good kid that like now I like fake fight with my parents like when I go home and visit them, and I just find it really tickles me.
Like you're trying to get your angst out now.
Yeah, I was such a like
You're buying cigarettes.
never-
You're fighting with
No,
your
literally,
parents.
I've
You're 14
never-
years old.
you're
I'm
13
14.
going on 30.
I'm Jennifer Garner, baby, or whatever her name is.
Let's relax.
Yeah, I just was I'm like nearing 30 and going through a second puberty. It's great.
That's fun.
yeah.
I would
Start
love a second one.
skateboarding. You want a second puberty?
I need to finish the first one.
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
god!
All right.
Why do you feel that?
Yeah, what are you missing?
I just don't. I feel like I'm 75% of the way there. I think I'm gonna be 6'2".
Baby, no.
Yeah.
It's over. How old are you?
I'm with him. He
Yeah.
can do it.
I
He could-
believe
he
that
could
I can.
poke it out, you know?
Listen,
Do men keep growing?
This one does.
spiritually, yeah.
Yeah.
Physically, not sure, but I'm
Every
gonna
single day.
try.
Yeah. Okay.
have-
What are you doing? What are your efforts to try to grow tall?
I just like hang from my door frame every day.
That's good.
Yeah, you
that's
sleep
good.
but not in a sad way.
You sleep like Batman, right? Like Michael Keaton Batman.
It's really happy how he does it. You have
Yeah.
to see it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. You can't toss the term hang around with comedians
Yeah.
too much. So
Yeah.
you know.
Can't tell us that.
Sorry to bring it there.
Why?
Whoa, we're
Because
already
comedians
good.
kill themselves?
Yes.
I thought you meant just like going to bars and hanging out.
Oh, I love the hang.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, do you think when people say he's a really good hang, it's like,
Yeah, I wonder
Some
what
of
the
'em have
etymology
been.
of that is.
Dark.
more victims of the deep state, baby?
We're
Getting too close to the truth.
Where are the emails? That's been my favorite line so far of the pod.
Oh, the one that
I-
is just a Twitter meme. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Yeah.
You're
We need to
delighted
do
have
more
me.
live episodes because I love where this is
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
I've really been wanting
It's
to talk about this.
Also, really fun to hear the audience of 10 get really uncomfortable, being like, "Oh, maybe
No,
we
they're
should."
in
No,
it.
they're
Yeah.
not
They're in
uncomfortable.
it.
They're
Are you guys
uncomfortable for
having
other
a good
reasons.
time? I'm deeply concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
Thank
at
you.
that. They're all red pilled.
Okay, but okay, Elliott, you okay? So I can't wait to say this. No, it's okay. You know how I am. You
That's
know
what
me.
you couldn't wait to say?
No. We've been friends for long enough where, like, you know that this is, like, the most stressful circumstance for me of, like, trying to make sure everyone's having fun. Like, you've been to parties, you've been to things I've been at, and, like, I'm just so annoying about.
That's why you need a big audience, because once it reaches a certain level, you can't individually check on everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
You should try drugs.
Hey, I got a pack of Parliament sitting in the glove box.
Let one rip. They let Chappelle do it, right?
Yeah, come on. There were cigars upstairs. Should we all just pass a joint around? Sorry, whoa. Crazy.
Hey, easy.
Whoa.
They're going to get you,
You're
too.
getting nervous joking about doing
Hypothetically.
drugs. I can tell. You just started. Your foot started.
Just kidding.
A joint that may or may not exist.
No, you know what? I recently revealed to my parents, this is how good of a kid I was growing up. I recently headlined in Seattle, and I did a joke.
Brag.
Whoa.
Jesus.
I'm from there. It's easy to fill a room.
Sorry.
But I headlined in Seattle, and I was doing a joke I've never done in front of my parents, which was one about how I tried weed for the first time. And this is how good of a kid I was growing up, that I told the joke and my parents thought it wasn't true. Like, they literally, to this day, this was months ago, they're like, that was so funny when you were joking about trying weed. Like, my mom literally is still like, no, she's never done it. Like, that's how good of a kid I was.
It's like you came
up.
out to your parents.
I
so
know, and they were just like,
they
she's
won't
straight.
acknowledge
Like, our straight gay daughter. Like,
They don't support your lifestyle.
We're just going to go pray for you.
Yeah, that's like how. That's just how I am. I don't know.
Damn.
Do you smoke weed though? Right?
I don't smoke it. I only do edibles.
Edibles?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What is the
Which people think is crazy.
what's
but
really? What's the
Yeah.
condition of weed legalization in Wisconsin? Right, it's not good, right?
I don't know.
You said
It
it was
is not good.
decriminalized.
It's decriminalized
Okay.
in Madison, right?
Yeah.
Not the whole state.
You
Yeah,
guys are
there's-
totally.
This guy
you guys
seems
are
like
the
an
Denver of
expert right
Wisconsin.
here.
Yeah.
There's no way fucking
I
Oshkosh
think
is
he
going
has
to be like...
a few gummies on him. He seems like an expert. He chimed in real fast.
Gave it
over
away, the
here.
ponytail?
Yeah. Or the yo-yo career. Now we're going
Guys,
real
someone
inside.
Sorry, we're going
here, someone who works here is really good at yo-yoing, and if we have time, I will force them to come on stage.
That's
going to
be great on the podcast for
That's
all the
a-
listeners.
Yeah, audio medium loves yo-yoing. It's an untapped market.
It feels very like Brink to me.
Yeah.
Like
In fact, he's been on stage
1990s.
doing it
Yeah,
this
the whole
entire
time.
podcast.
You guys just don't know. You don't know. Tommy, how was JFL? If you want to explain to the people a little bit what it is, and you probably hate talking about this. Has everybody and their mother asked you how it was?
Not my mother.
No.
Hey,
Let's get her up here.
Oh my
Let's go.
God!
That was
Knocking
great.
it out of the park.
No,
yeah.
my mom didn't even ask me about it.
What's your
Fucking
relationship like
bitch.
with your parents?
That one didn't hit as hard. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Thought I was going to go up for another dunk, but
Yeah.
You got buried.
the audience said
let's,
no.
let's hope you don't get to the third.
Yeah.
Just wait until we start talking about my mom.
Oh, hello.
I said that in a
She's
sultry
dead?
way.
No,
No,
kidding.
she's hot. She's not a... Sorry. Tommy, talk about the big accomplishment you had.
It was great.
Yeah.
It's just a big like party, and
Yeah.
you only have to do 6 minutes twice, so
Dude,
it's like
the easiest.
12,
like,
I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
But who's counting? Who's counting?
But
Yeah.
and then it's just a fun time, and
Nice.
a lot of here's the best way to describe it. It's a lot of industry people, and industry
Okay.
people are little rats, little snakes, you know.
I'll let them
And,
know.
Yeah, I mean they all know it's
Yeah.
a sales job.
They're watching
this.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna hear.
It's the
Yeah.
same way we are. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would. You know,
It's the same way we are?
Yeah.
Okay, speak for yourself.
Oh my God, I would never talk to any of you again if it meant 3 minutes of stage time. You know,
wow.
okay. I thought that was gonna
That's
be funnier than it was.
I was
Jesus
just nodding
Christ.
my head solemnly because I respect that.
You're like, we drove together.
No, no.
Okay, all
Yikes.
it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
10 minutes and we're talking.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, not 3 minutes,
No,
but
3
10.
is. I have a soul.
The
I met this guy. He works for a big management company, and he comes up. He's talking to our friend Jeffrey Asmus.
Okay.
And
Boo!
Great comic.
yeah. Great
I
comic.
love Jeff.
Terrible
Be nice.
person.
Yeah.
Great comic. One of the
Yeah.
best. Hate him.
Started on this very stage,
Yeah.
Started right
unfortunately.
here. He used to start all of his shows by converting everyone to Muslim. If I am.
Oh, he's still doing
Islam.
that?
Wait, I'm sorry. To Muslim.
To Islam.
He's
All right, Bosnia, relax.
he's still doing that. He's been doing that.
Yeah. Oh no. He doesn't do it anymore. But
Oh,
he,
Yeah,
used to
he
do
would
it here,
bring
I
a
believe.
Yeah.
Quran on stage with him.
Yeah, he would
correct?
make everyone. He'd be like, "Let's all say something together," and then thank you. And then everyone would say something. He goes, "Now you're all converted to Islam,"
I am
and then he'd just move on.
going to write him a strongly worded letter.
I've been trying to get him to bring it back. He won't.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, I'm hanging out with him, and this guy is talking to him, not giving me the time of day. And his
Okay.
first thing that he says to Jeff is, "Man, my flight got delayed. I missed both the New Face showcases, which is what
Okay.
I was doing."
Yeah.
About 5 minutes later, Jeff goes, this is Tommy, by the way. He just did New Faces.
Yeah.
And the guy turns to me with a straight face and goes, "Yeah, great set, man." And I was like, "Thank you so much."
And you know what? You would do the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
You would do
yeah,
the same
in a heartbeat.
thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
it was beautiful because it was just a reflex that he had.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's
sure.
so broken by this industry that
Dude,
he
but-
didn't even remember what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I do that too, though. I feel like to comics who like maybe they don't have the best set, but I say like, "Hey, good set," and man, to everybody, I'm like, "Hey, good set."
Yeah,
hey,
but
good
not
set."
right after you're like, "I didn't watch."
Right.
Great
Yes.
set.
But I understand the reflex.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
But
for
everybody's
sure.
so broken too after that happened.
Yeah.
You were like, that went really well.
Yeah.
Conversation.
You're like, I don't know. I think I just got booked in a movie.
He likes me.
Kind of huge.
He likes my shit.
Yeah. But okay, so
Yeah.
you two, how long have you two known each other?
Couple years.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good question.
Did
when
you
did
meet
we?
in Minneapolis or?
I think so. I think
Okay.
we
I'm
met
from
at.
Minnesota, but didn't
Oh.
start there. You started there.
Okay.
So
Yep.
we met actually through
Sisyphus.
Jeffrey Asmus.
I-
Yeah.
Oh
Did we?
boy.
Yeah,
because
You
I
was-
can't escape.
Here he
this
goes
guy.
again.
Yeah, Jesus, sorry. I'm not
Yeah.
going to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, let's go back to 9/11. Huh?
Yeah.
He would love that.
He's going to come up.
What with the Quran and whatnot.
Yeah, and we also can't bring up fucking deep state shit
Yeah.
because Reddit, he'll come up
That's the
again.
first thing. Also,
Oh
he's
my
got
God.
20 on Serbia.
Yeah.
So when you brought that up, I was
Oh,
like,
God.
no.
Jeffrey was in
He
flight
has-
school with Muhammad Atta. Unfortunately, not enough people talk about that either.
Oh my God.
That's a good pull.
He's the one that turned him against America. Jeff was the
Because
first
they were
American
all
he
getting
met.
no pussy for different reasons.
He's gonna love that we talked about him.
I'm gonna cut all
yeah,
this
he'll
out.
hear
Yeah.
this.
I'm gonna cut all of it out and send it to him.
But we were chatting upstairs, and you guys said that you maybe have a crazy story from when you were together.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't date.
Yeah.
The way you phrased that kind of made it sound like we had a crazy breakup story.
Well, that's
Okay,
exactly
and
what
why
someone
not?
would say
I think
who
you
did
should've
date.
let them think that. I don't know. What's the problem? Are you?
Well, yeah, we don't have to
homophobic?
put a label on it.
Wow,
Yes.
Tommy's homophobic. You heard it here first. You
Yeah.
said yes.
Yeah, of course. Got a bunch of gay sisters. Hate all of them.
You really?
Yeah, I do. No, I love
that.
them to death. Jesus Christ.
Wait, a bunch of gay. Like, how many gay sisters are
Just
we
a
talking?
whole
like a handful.
swarm.
I have like 2 full-on lesbian sisters.
Yeah.
And then a few bi
Full-on.
ones too. Yeah.
That's the new
Full
acronym.
blown.
Yeah, I got some
Full-on.
stereotypically lesbian sisters, and
Wow,
then some,
okay.
Stage
and then
4?
some bi. Yeah,
Okay.
Home
and then just
Depot.
some fake bi sisters.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa.
Who's
That's
homophobic
how
now?
you made it
He
sound.
can say that, not you.
Jesus
Wow,
Christ, those are my
okay,
that's
yeah.
my family you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Whoa. Oh my God.
My
Well, they
God.
didn't come, so you know.
Grant and I did a beautiful one-nighter in Ottawa, Illinois,
Yes.
about 6 months ago.
Birthplace
Okay.
of Lincoln, I do believe, right?
It is, yeah. I have
Mhm.
a shirt
Yeah.
that says that.
They gave us
Okay.
T-shirts.
I thought he was
Yeah.
born in Springfield.
Oh,
He
wait,
lived
I
in
think you're right.
Springfield, I think.
I went to public school, so I don't know.
Someone
think-
pull it up.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
I went to private school, so they didn't really cover.
Whoa, you went to
presidents.
private school? The privilege
It
on
was
this
Catholic
stage is
stuff
crazy.
mostly.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tommy, do you want to explain how that that gig came?
I was in Austin, Texas, and got heckled so brutally by a woman who was so high she had no idea where
It
she
was me.
was.
Yeah.
It was me.
It was Ariana off of Parliament.
Some fucking crazy
on
lady
drugs.
talking about drugs. She's holding up a
And
pack of
it
Virginia
was-
Slims.
It was edibles, if I'm not mistaken.
It was
wasn't
edibles,
it?
actually. Yeah,
That'll
she
do
had
it.
never taken edibles before, and she took like a whole bunch and was just ripped out of her mind and just kept saying stuff about my set like 3 minutes after I would say it. You know, like super delayed. I'd talk about Tinder, and then like 3 minutes later, she'd be like, "My daughter's on Tinder." And I'm like, "What?" And I was talking about my gay sisters, and then she's whatever. We go back and forth like I'm making fun of her for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then after the show, she's like, "That was the best night of my life." And I was like, "Yeah, I was so mean to her."
Yeah.
I mean, I could not have been meaner. I was like,
You just get
very
worried?
clear. I'm like, "You ruined the whole show."
This is inside the mind of a heckler, though. She's like, that was the
Yeah.
best thing that's
She's
ever
like, I made
happened
it
to
better
anyone.
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like she just clearly that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
I get a DM like a week later.
Okay.
And she's like, "Hey, it's the High Lady from your Austin show.
Your bestie.
She's
Would you
still
ever
high.
come to Ottawa, Illinois?" She looked up my schedule and she's like, "I see you're in Chicago and then you're in Iowa. It kind of works to go from A to B."
Is she your
And you
manager
said
now?
yes?
yeah, she's kind
She's
of
your
booking my whole
manager.
tour.
Yeah.
And
This is how little self-respect comedians have.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
This woman just tore him to shreds, and he's like, "I would love to."
She's like,
That went really well.
She's like, it doesn't pay. You get one drink ticket, but please go.
I'm like, absolutely, would love to. And so we didn't really know anything about the gig, but she was like, "Here's the amount of money." It wasn't a lot, and she's like, "You have a place to stay, and the show will sell out." Like,
Wait, so what's her relationship with comedy? Did she just want to book a show because she saw you and enjoyed you?
yeah.
And did she? Okay, I have so many more questions, but I'll hold.
Well, she was like, also weirdly, it started like she was kind of trying to set her daughter up with me at one point via
Okay,
DMs, but then her
yeah.
daughter's like 20, and so that kind of ended quickly because that's way too old
Wait,
for
I
me.
love that you were. Because I love that you were like, I'll consider it. Like,
Well, we met her daughter
Yeah.
in person, and I was like, "Oh, this is a child. What are you? Come on, Jamie. That's her name." And not the daughter, the mom. Kind of would with the mom, but
Yeah, not bad.
we'll get to that. We'll get to the
we strayed
OnlyFans.
so far.
Anyways, so we go. I don't know, Grant. Take it.
Okay, so we drove all the way down there in one day, right? It was a long drive.
6.5.
We left from Minneapolis.
Yeah, where is that? Is it?
It's like an hour and a half directly west of Chicago, middle of Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we get down there, and we have no idea what to expect.
I
We're
have an
kinda like-
address. That's
yeah,
it.
there's a lot of road gigs.
Wait,
like-
I want to know how you got looped in, and you were like, "Yeah, this sounds amazing."
well, because here's the thing. I was talking like
She
I
has
have
a
even
20-year-old daughter. I'm in.
I haven't even less self-respect. So Tommy's like, "Hey," describes this entire story that he just told me. He's like, "Do you want to open?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Absolutely. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for my career." Actually, a lot of my gigs just come from being close in proximity to Tommy when he gets a phone call.
Yeah.
So that's nice. And so, but like, it's just fun, you know. We do gigs like this all the time, and it's nice to actually go on one with a friend rather than
Yeah.
either alone,
Yeah.
and then you don't know who you're gonna meet up with at the spot, or you're going with some road hack headliner
I
who
think, yeah, I think people
that you don't want to be in the car with for
truly
6.5 hours.
don't understand how lonely comedy can be.
Yeah,
It can be brutal.
yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
not go there yet.
We're not talking about the hang yet.
Well, I mean, people think it's so fun, but like, I don't know. Even when it's like a local show that you're doing, and it's like a headliner you don't really know that well. Like, I'm just like in my head, I'm feeling awkward. I want to impress them.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to do a good set, and it's like then you're just like sitting in the green room, and like everyone thinks you're having fun, but really you're in your head most of
Well,
the time.
and it's really dependent.
It's just me. I don't know.
Do you want
No.
to talk about this?
Yeah.
Like, do you enjoy doing this?
I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world, but I still want to like. It's a
Other
job.
than magic, I think we all know that.
no.
This is
go.
just a stepping
That's
stone.
magic.
This
Yeah.
is a mean. It's like how actors get into stand up so
Yeah.
they can get seen. Ariana's
Yeah.
getting into stand up to get the stage presence for magic.
Yes, you're working on your pattern.
I mean,
Sorry, I don't mean to-
I'll quit.
I don't mean to
You have
divulge.
ruin it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Erase the tapes.
But
So you get looped in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't even. I think me and Tommy like to drink when we're together in Minneapolis when we come into town. Are both you guys sober guys? Are you?
I'm not sober, but I just barely. I
Okay.
don't enjoy it.
You're like
so-
sober curious.
No, I just I grew up with Muslim parents, so I just thought I would
Okay.
never drink, and
Yeah.
then I enjoy like a cocktail, and then I don't ever get. Now I'm explaining my whole life story. I don't like get buzzed. I'm either like I feel sober the entire time, and then it just hits me, and then I'm like, it's game over, baby. Like there's no in between. So for me, it's not like. And I don't drink when I perform. I've never done that. So I just, and I drive everywhere. So it's like more times than not, I'm just not drinking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so me and Tommy are out getting wasted.
Anyways, back on the other end of the spectrum, we got Brent and Tom.
Can somebody bring me a fresh beer, by the way?
And are you Catholic too, or is this just,
Well, I mean, lapsed, as all good Catholics are at this point. Yeah. But so no, we're probably just out at a bar and just kind of comes up, it's like, hey, I got this thing, and then also it really helps because Tommy was gracious enough to bring me along after that to open for him at the Comedy Bar in Dubuque.
Hell yeah.
And
An
it's
even worse gig.
And
I'm coming at Comedy Bar Dubuque.
I mean, this is how it goes. You get JFL New Faces, you're booking.
Yeah.
Dubuque.
I've told a million stories about this place. Actually, one of my stories tonight is about that.
That was good too. But so we go down there. It's a long drive, really, and especially for something we don't really know. A lot of times you don't know what you're going into with a road gig like this, like a one-nighter. You don't know if there's gonna be nobody there or like full room.
There's 38,000 people. What are you talking about?
So we get down there like mid-afternoon, and this lady is like a tornado.
Okay. Was she high already?
She was
No,
she's like she's got like coke energy.
yeah.
But she's not like I think
Not
she's
a
just, that's
cokehead.
like who she is. She's like crazy. She like pulls up in her F-150. And
Wait,
is
I
like,
love her.
Let me show you around the town. And it's
5
not
foot
a town.
tall,
It's-
bleach blonde hair, like firecracker would be the term
Yes.
that you would use in like 2002.
Within 3 minutes, within like
which is where I live.
within I don't know.
So all this 9/11 talk was probably pretty.
I mean, yeah,
It was
it's
a little
a fresh wound.
Yeah, it's a little soon. I apologize.
It's still a little raw.
I apologize. Yeah.
Within 12 minutes of meeting her, we're all having drinks at the little bar in their
Barnacle
community.
or something
It's
like
not
that.
a
Okay,
town.
yeah.
It's called it's a community. It's a boat community called Heritage Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a great.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's
Grant
some
points
connotation
out right
there.
away. He's like,
You're
not a
drinking
great
at
name.
the American Legion. That there's the one
no,
bar.
it was more like if like Get Out was a bar. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
It was
very-
like
Never
sweaters
seen it,
over
but I
your
get it,
shoulder.
I think.
type
Okay.
vibe.
Yeah. I
Okay,
get you.
ritzy.
and like she's buying us lunch right away. She's so excited, like fucking excited.
This
for
sounds great
show.
to me.
It was. I mean, like spoiler alert, it was an amazing show. We had a fantastic time, but it was off the rails from the first moment we met this lady, and she's like oversharing. In
Right
a
away, she's like,
crazy
Sounds
way.
like
she's like, I used to make a lot of money. Now I don't make any money. I'm trying to think. Do you guys know about OnlyFans? I'm thinking about getting on OnlyFans. Do you think I could sell feet pics on OnlyFans?
And she
Yeah.
could.
This is
And
like
we're
12
like,
minutes
yes.
into knowing it.
Yeah, you could.
Did she show you her feet?
Did she talk about
like a-
magic or
I don't think so.
yo-yos or drugs?
I was bearing the lead, but you guys do have somewhat of the same initial energy but you're cooler. No, I'm just here's the
Someone
thing.
laughed
Okay.
so hard.
I really do. We love this lady, by
Yes.
the way.
I talked to her on the phone.
Jamie.
Recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
I can't wait.
Okay, so she's like, and doing the thing, which if you're a comic, you know this, everybody will try and say something very funny. If you laugh, and then they go, you can use that if you want. And she said that after she brought up OnlyFans, and I was like, she's like, you can use that tonight. And I was like, can I? Because I will. I will bring that up on stage tonight.
Yeah.
And she was like, yes, 100%. You can bring this up tonight. And we're like, okay. And then we kind of break after the lunch. Anything else notable about the lunch?
No, we got to the gig.
Can you
What?
Can you talk about the promo that she made for it? Are you?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so about a month before this gig, I
Okay.
went with Kelsey Cook to her Jimmy Fallon taping.
Awesome.
And so I have a picture with me and Kelsey and the famous The Tonight Show sign.
Oh no.
And it's right behind me on the wall. And for the show poster, she cut Kelsey out of it and just had me in front of The Tonight Show.
Which is like the greasiest move.
And didn't run it by me, and I didn't see it until we got to the gig. And there's posters over this whole community with very much insinuating that I had just been on the Tonight Show.
And I'm pretty sure she was just straight up telling people you
She
were.
might
Well,
have
how
been,
funny would
yeah.
it be if she's like, I said you've been to.
Yeah.
I never said you went on.
it. Okay.
You've been to.
I mean, I love her.
It was. I mean, that's a
Incredible
hustler
move.
mentality.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is like that wouldn't matter to anybody there at all. But if another comic saw that, they'd be like, "What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck, Tommy?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you did right away. You're like, did you send her that? I was like, no.
Check him. Check
She
him.
pulled it off Instagram. It was a
That was
wild
so
move.
good,
Incredible.
so
That's
good. I love
incredible.
that though.
So then we get to the gig and it's filling up and it's looking nice.
Yeah. It's in a cool like and so it's like it's almost like a vacation home community is what
Yes.
it seems like.
Okay.
And this was in the spring. When was this?
Yeah, it was sometime in the spring.
Okay.
yeah.
So like I don't know. We were like, is this even? Are people gonna be here? But she was like, this is the talk of the town. Everybody's coming, and it was in like the little community center.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of a cool small little room, and they set it up nice with good PA, good sound and stuff. But like. It was like a family reunion. Is
It
what
was-
we quickly realized
It was
the
amazing.
vibe.
One of the things we talked about is like on the drive in, we were talking
Yeah.
about like how annoying it is if like the feature does like way too much crowd work. It kind of
Yes.
leaves
Yeah.
not much left for the headline. So we're talking about it, and I'm like, listen, do what you have to do, but yeah, if you cannot do a ton of crowd work, that'd be awesome.
Because you don't have an hour.
Three.
Oh.
Interesting. Who just said they could only headline in their hometown?
Oh, wait, I never
Let's
said
go.
that. I
I
said
think
it was easy to fill up.
Yeah.
I like
It's
this.
implied.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life.
Old Tom
noted
doesn't forget.
right
That's
here.
a little
No, I hold
catchphrase
a grudge.
I've learned. Yeah.
It's no, you're
What are you, a
absolutely.
Gemini?
You were spot on though. I am.
Oh shit!
I hate
The
when
hell
that
just
works.
happened?
I'm within 30 seconds of Grant going on
Yeah.
stage. I was like, "Oh, buddy, do what you gotta do. Whatever you have to
It
do."
fully devolved instantly, like fell apart.
Well, her
No.
intro for Grant was like,
Okay.
"Here's a list of comedians I love: Tom Segura,
George-
Nate Bargatze,
George Carlin.
George
She has
Carlin.
great taste.
The great.
Wait, she has great taste. I don't see the problem.
and then goes, "Here's Grant
The
Winkels."
fucking schmuck from Minneapolis.
Oh my god.
And so
Hilarious.
but we're sitting
no
and
host, just you going up.
Jamie was the
Oh,
host, and
oh.
she, believe me, she wanted to do some time. Like
Yeah.
we
Tried.
Well, she was running bits all lunch. You guys were
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
nothing.
and but the
Yeah.
funny thing was like the green room was just right off the stage. So
Okay.
so I can see Tommy the whole time I'm up here, like
I just keep going.
this, like doing this set was like riding a mechanical bull. That's what I would say is like the closest
Okay.
like
Okay.
simulation to it
Yeah.
because it's just like you could not do material.
Were
like,
they just really rowdy or what?
Yeah.
They were rowdy.
Okay.
They were all shouting out. They
It
were
was a
building
bunch
off
of
each other.
Jamies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
They're doing
much
like
so.
crowd work on each other.
Yep.
Like one of
Yep.
them would say something,
Crushing
and then
with each
someone
other.
from the back would like yell something in response to that.
Yeah.
And it was like getting laughs.
Yeah, they were murdering. They were
Amazing.
all
They
killing.
were just like it was like we didn't need to be there.
The funniest
Yeah.
town in America, truly.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
needed
Yeah.
this night, honestly.
Yeah.
and we came up with some because we were walking around and beforehand and we were talking about Heritage Harbor and we're like, God damn, this is so weird. This is like feels really like Aryan a little bit. This
Yeah.
Heritage Harbor
Heritage
feels
Harbor
coded.
feels like
It's
a
a
bad
bad
Oh my
name.
God! When you texted me HH earlier, that's
was
what I was
it.
thinking of was Heritage Harbor.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've never heard of the place.
You've heard of it.
No,
It's-
she
okay.
texted me
It's our
HH about
refuge.
happy hour, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Does no
Do
one
you
know
that
it means
HH
happy
means
hour?"
Happy hour?
Yeah.
I do, yeah. But it also means Heritage Harbor, Heil Hitler. Those are the big three, I
Oh,
think,
shit.
actually. So, yeah.
And two of those, I was like, "Those are in your wheelhouse." so,
You
what
know
is
it.
she talking
Yeah.
about?
So we were like, okay, so I'm gonna go after him a little bit. We'll call it Caucasian Creek. What was Caucasian Creek taken?
Yeah.
Racism River.
Very funny.
Caucasian Creek hit. Just leveled the room.
Of course.
Everybody thought it was the
Of
greatest.
course.
They were like, "How have we never thought of that?" They want to make merch. that says like no
They
joke.
literally
They
did
were
say they
saying
were like,
we
"We'll
want to
make
make
t-shirts."
T-shirts that say Caucasian Creek.
They
And
didn't
it's like,
understand the irony.
No,
of it.
Yeah.
and they didn't like Racist River as much.
No.
That they
They're
kind
like,
of
that's a
okay to
little
be
on the
white.
nose.
Yeah.
It's too on the.
Yeah.
So I kind of at like 5 minutes in, I just look over at. I started talking to you. I think I'm like, dude, this is nuts, and they didn't even hear. They didn't even. We were fully
talking amongst
fully having a
themselves.
sidebar, and I had a microphone in my hand,
Yeah.
and
Hilarious.
I was like, do the millennial bit next.
yeah. And so yeah, and it was super fun. Like I think if you work the road enough, like it wasn't even that, because sometimes that just happens out there at
Yeah,
these bar
yeah.
shows and especially in the Midwest, big drinking area. So it's like, I don't know, it's a vibe that I wasn't completely unfamiliar with. So
Yeah.
It was, he survived. So he survived.
yeah,
And then
I passed it right off.
I get up there, and within 5 minutes of being on stage, a woman who was probably 75 years old flashed me with her boobs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
What were you guys thinking?
With
And
a bright
it just
light.
got
You got-
so off the rails. The whole 50 that I was on stage, the entire theme was that me and this grandmother had sexual tension. I don't know how it got there, but it just like
I
that.
think we all know
Yeah.
how it got there. I think she flashed
She
you.
flashed me,
Yes,
and
yeah.
I had like a choice. It was like, am I mean to this old lady, or do I say that it's my girlfriend? And now it's my girlfriend, and I mean, yeah, we talked about some graphic stuff in front of the whole room, and it was the only thing that would work. I would try to go back to jokes, and they'd be like, "Talk to Doreen again."
Well, yeah. So how did everyone else respond
Wait,
when
wait,
she
wait,
flashed?
wait.
Oh, they were loving it.
Yeah.
They were
thought it was
just
the
like,
funniest thing
yeah,
in the
that's
world.
Doreen. That's
They were
what
like-
she does.
It was the mom of the lady that was currently running for city council.
No.
So that was
Caucasian
that's
freak.
why she flashed me. Is I had
Yeah.
heard that they were running for city council. I said something
Okay.
about Mary running for city council, and Doreen got rowdy, and I said, "What's your deal?" And she flashed me.
She won in a landslide.
It-
Let me tell you
They
something.
did win. I got a text update about a month later. She did win. Shout out Mary.
Wait, I have so many
fucking
questions.
insane.
Yeah, I know so much about this town now. And then
Full boob or like was her bra?
no,
or-
she had one of the oldest lady bras I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
I was gonna ask. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm
'Cause
talking
that
about,
You
like-
can't really like. You have to like unhook.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like a
It's called a brassiere. It's not a bra.
brassiere. It's a
it's a
brassiere.
brassiere.
it's
Yeah.
prescription. It's an orthopedic
It
bra.
was whole. I mean, if she took that off, there would have been holes in the ground.
Talk about a landslide. You know what I mean?
Flashing is stressful. You know.
It was
It's like,
wild,
yeah.
and I was just like, it was. I had watched Grant
Yeah.
be up there during this fist fight for 30 minutes. I knew that it wasn't gonna go smoothly.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're warming up. You're like, all right, I gotta go do the exact thing
Yeah.
for twice as long.
And you've been on Jimmy Fallon, so the stakes are
Yeah,
high.
I'm just coming off my debut in the backstage
Yeah.
of the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And so whatever, I survive. It's just pure insanity.
Yeah.
They had a great time. About 2 weeks later, two people from that town
Okay.
came and saw me in Louisville. And
That's so
and the
nice.
first thing they said afterwards, they go, "It was nice to hear the end of your jokes."
Oh, that's sweet.
Because I did not
actually.
finish one joke.
That's very sweet.
Those-
It was really sweet,
Yeah.
honestly.
Those
Yeah.
people were really cool too. They were legitimate stand-up fans.
Yeah.
Who just
Okay.
like
happen to live in,
were
in
there.
white
You know.
America.
Yeah.
And then and I'm trying to think of afterwards. I mean, we had a
I
crazy night.
brought up OnlyFans.
Oh,
I brought it up at the
Okay.
show, and she wasn't very happy that I brought it up.
Well, her
And-
kids were there, and that's who you brought it up to.
Yeah.
He
I
said,
mean,
"Did you hear about your mom's
this
new
feels-
venture?" And everyone in the room was like, "Uh-oh."
This feels made up. I really, you know what I want to do? I want to do a hard-hitting documentary where I go undercover in this town and just ask, "What's up
Well,
with Jamie?"
I got good news for you.
Please.
I'm doing it again in about 2 weeks.
Are you going?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm going with the. She called me 2 days ago out of the blue and said, "Are you still coming on the 24th?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck."
You forgot.
About 3 hours after the show, we drunkenly agreed to
Yep.
do it again, and put it in. She put it in her calendar, and she was like, "We're all planning on it." They're doing a bigger event.
Wait, so I
space
think
this
that
time.
what we need as a podcast is an update in a few weeks
Yeah,
of how
for
this
sure.
goes
I'll call
for
in.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, call in.
We'll
the
do a
pod.
on the street segment where we go
Yeah.
to the show
Yeah.
and
I
report
think-
live.
So who
Yes.
are you picking as your victim to open for you this time? Because this
John
is truly-
Gasper. He's a
Yeah.
Chicago
Okay.
Oh,
comic.
he's
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah, he's. I figured he'll survive.
I would absolutely love to do it again. though. Like it's
Throw it out
purely
there.
a scheduling
I think we set
conflict.
this up as like a monthly, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because they do pay and they buy merch.
Yep.
They're
Okay.
excited
Oh,
to
to-
have you.
I-
I'm
I-
excited. I'm going to tell all just the second halves of my jokes.
I sold
this time.
$300 in stickers that night. Okay, yeah,
Stickers, worthless
Jesus.
stickers.
insane,
Crazy.
Like, and he didn't bring his fucking
I
merch.
forgot my
Oh
merch.
my
and
God,
and it's like
Tommy.
yachting
devastating.
merch. It's
Okay,
it's
cool.
you couldn't. It's basically
Don't forget it
Caucasian
this
Creek
time.
merch.
No, I
I'm
brought
gonna
a lot.
text you next
Good.
week and be like, Tommy, just ship it direct.
I already have it. I have
You're
a
gonna-
full suitcase.
You're gonna make $25,000 on koozies that night.
You never need to work again. This is the one gig you do 3 times a year.
Jamie.
It's your fucking
gonna
cash
get-
cow, baby.
You're gonna
Dude, wait,
audited
what was
because
the
of this
place
gig.
like that she set you up
It
in?
was-
it
Oh, we
nice?
stayed in a lake condo.
One of the houses.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was one of the
community.
houses.
It
I'm
in the
was-
trying to
community.
go to this show.
That's what I mean. I would do it any single time it's offered.
Jamie
to me.
sounds awesome. I don't know.
It was like
Is she into magic?
I would bet.
God.
But they
Yeah.
were really trying to get us to go out with
Also-
them after. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like after the gig.
Well, like we're drunk already on the premise
Okay.
that we're staying at, and they were like, "We're going downtown."
yeah.
And we're like, "We don't want to go downtown Ottawa."
Yeah. Also, I love the idea of her only ever booking you to headline.
That is, I don't know why.
Like, do you
That's
know
as
what I
far as her
mean?
comedy knowledge goes. I'm the only comedian.
Like she's like, we gotta bring this kid here. We gotta get him liquored up. We
Yeah.
have to have him
It's-
talk to me.
that's my
Here's
boy.
the other phone
Hey,
call
the
I got from
20-year-old will be
Jamie.
21 now. So you're in
About yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I wonder what Audrey's doing.
What's her deal?
Yeah, she's in. I think she's a freshman.
Oh,
or no,
God.
she's a sophomore. in
I would
Louisville.
hope to God not.
No, she took a gap year.
Okay.
She's finding herself.
Yeah,
Driving
no, I
around
didn't
Europe.
mean it like that. Yeah, she's
Jamie
fine.
called me
She's
about
cool.
2 months ago, or maybe like a month ago, and goes, "I have a very dire question for you." And I was like, "Okay."
can't wait
I
to
don't know
hear
why
what
I
it is.
answered. I didn't even answer your call today. I don't know why I answered.
He rejected my phone call.
I was like, "Okay, what's up?" And she goes, "I bought a new car for
Uh-oh.
the first time in 15 years." And I was like, "All right." And she goes, "My daughters are telling me that it's a lesbian car."
Subaru.
And I go, "You bought a Subaru?" And she just goes, "God damn it!" And she goes, "Oh my God, do your sisters have Subarus?" And I go, They do not, but it is like stereotypically. But times are changing, Jamie. You can do whatever you want. And she was like, actually upset.
Damn,
She
OnlyFans
goes-
must be going really well for her.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
can
She's
afford
got
a
that
new
Subaru money.
Subaru. in
She
2023.
goes, I got a comedy guy and a lesbian guy. And they're the same guy. This guy knows comedy
I
and
loved
lesbians.
it. She was like, I have to call Tommy. There's,
don't know
there's
what
not
our
a single
relationship
I think you guys are dating. You guys
Yeah.
are dating now. That's
Like
what
a
that means.
little
You guys
bit.
are in a relationship. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But
yeah.
her husband was hanging out with us the whole
Ooh.
time.
There's a husband in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
And he was
Plot
low
twist.
key
The way I
down,
thought she
like
was a single
chill.
woman.
He was the coolest guy there. He played music to
Yeah.
open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he shredded the keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
You play music too,
phenomenal.
don't you?
Yeah, I do.
What do
yeah.
you play?
I play guitar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Tommy's
okay.
good at. You're good at keyboard as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Ariana's good at
Library.
scatting.
Oh, can
Let's
we hear a
hear
little
some.
bit?
Some jazz.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I can't.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You've seen The Office once or twice.
About 3 times. You know, I'm huge. I'm actually a singer. Thank you, Elliott.
You're a
but,
singer?
I love how you actually do it. Because
Yeah.
before the
Always, I do
podcast,
it every time.
before the podcast, she's talking about singing, and we were like, "Sing," and she's like, "No." And then as soon as you count off, she will do it.
I commit to the bit.
You could be like, "Ariana, smoke this crack," and she's like, "Nah, I got a busy day tomorrow." And you're like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I could never. I don't know how to use the pipe.
That's when the scatting gets good.
Smoke rings coming out.
Buried the lead. You're good at scatting,
That was
man.
good.
Holy shit.
Dude.
Damn.
This was just a big ploy for you to scat.
Yeah, if we could drop the track, please. Al.
We
This
just
is
do a
my
full
album
musical
release party.
number. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a gig you guys did together, but then you alluded to it led to a different gig in
We went to
you
Dubuque
went to
after.
Dubuque after.
Where I
Okay.
have I have like one of my worst moments in comedy happened in Dubuque, Iowa.
Can't wait.
I have some old road hack tricks.
Oh.
And one of them
okay.
just involves you just find the town that everyone hates
Yeah.
in that town that you're in.
Nearby.
Janesville. It's
Okay.
Janesville here.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you talk about Janesville in this club, people
Okay.
poop their pants. It's amazing.
Out of
Yeah.
anger, though.
Out of like anger and hate
Yeah.
and like this superiority complex. And so I was in Dubuque and I asked the bartender, I said, hey, what's the town that you guys like hate? She goes, Waterloo. And I was like, awesome.
Oh, Napoleon.
So I get on stage and I take about 5 swings at Waterloo. And it's bombing. And it's like a pretty good crowd. I'm doing fine with everything else.
Okay.
Waterloo keeps just missing.
Okay.
And I tried a lot of times. And I closed weird because one of the attempts was towards the end of my set.
Good. You were like, let me circle back.
I really thought
Maybe they didn't hear me.
I'm like, am I saying it weird? I'm like,
That's a pro comedy tip right here. Always, sir. It's called a callback.
if it's not working, try it 5 times.
Yeah.
In the same
and close
set.
on it. Comics, right there.
Close on it as well. And I get off stage, and I'm walking past Tim Smith is headlining, and he had gotten some intel while I was on stage
Okay.
eating one. And he just stops me on the way up, and he goes, hey, Waterloo is one of the only historically black towns in Iowa.
So the bartender was just racist.
The bartender was black.
Oh. So he was racist against white people.
She check your bias.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Wow. Wow. You're
grew up in
canceled.
Waterloo.
This is 2023. All right.
Okay.
She grew up in Waterloo. She hated Waterloo.
Okay. Okay.
And so I'm like, I walk right back there, and I'm like, what did you think I was going to do with that intel?
Yeah.
That's
Did you say
hilarious.
something after?
Oh, I walked right up to the bar.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, what was that? You didn't tell me that it was a black town. And she's like, well, you didn't ask.
Do your research.
Oh,
Do your
I was like,
research. man.
this asked you what town I could make fun
Yeah.
of. And
Yeah.
you told them
Yeah.
it's a historically black town.
Well, she probably knew that you guys frequent Heritage Harbor.
Yeah.
So she was like, you know what? This
She's
one's
like,
for the
"This
culture.
Aryan
Yeah.
fool over
Yeah, this
here?"
one's for the
Yeah.
culture. I'm going to get him here.
And everything, all the root of the jokes are kind of like white trash jokes. But
That
in
hits
that,
They're like,
different.
there's none there.
through that lens, it's just
You
super
made a wild
racist.
call that night. You made a wild
I mean, I just sat there thinking through my set for hours.
Thinking
Just-
about all the times you called them poor and stupid.
Straight up. I'm like, oh, if I wanted to get on hard drugs, I'd just move to Waterloo.
Did you ever say those
Yeah.
people?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I said go back to Waterloo at one point. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
bad.
it's only okay to be poor if you're white, and we know that.
Yeah.
So it's only
And
funny
that's a
then.
burning the light creed.
Yeah.
That's a rule that
One
we
of
follow.
our many favorites.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that was my low point in Dubuque, Iowa.
that rocks.
Incredible. It feels like that part of the country is just really a gift for you.
I always get stuff out of it.
I mean, honestly, shout out to Dubuque for being like, that's not okay.
Yeah,
You know?
honestly.
Yeah.
It
Kind of
could've
makes me
gone
like Dubuque
Yeah.
more.
way worse. Like, what if
Yeah.
it was all
Yeah.
like applause breaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
And then at the end, some dude's like, yeah, fuck the blacks. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Like,
wait, what? Huh? hold on a second.
Did I say that?
You're like, I'll end with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what are you
Have fun.
talking about? They're like, what are you talking about?
Have fun, Tim.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh, man.
That's
so
tight.
basically,
So are you racist too, or what's up?
Oh, absolutely, man. I knew about Waterloo well before asking the bartender.
Had them in a list.
No, I mean it's crazy because that's like best case scenario. What happened to you actually?
Yeah, that they didn't
Yeah.
get on
Yeah,
board.
exactly.
that's
Yeah,
true.
That-
Never thought
that's
about it
And
like
then they
that.
were just polite.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I really did bomb though.
That's fun.
was rough.
Is that one of your worst bombs, do you think?
I think it's the weirdest set I've
The
ever had,
weirdest
for
set,
sure.
okay,
Because it was like
yeah.
I was doing well, and then it would every time I brought up Waterloo, it would just tank.
Okay.
There's something really sadistic about you being like, I gotta come back to this. Like,
Yeah, they were probably like, why does he keep bringing it up?
they're like, I really want to like the kid.
Yeah. Like, we're giving him nothing. And he won't stop.
I really believed it would work.
Like, this dude's really cool, but he has a weird thing about Waterloo.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Doing like wholesome family jokes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and also fuck Waterloo.
You're like really woke with the rest of your material.
I am.
You're like, I got a handful of gay sisters.
You gotta draw a line or draw a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you have a weird road story as well? I feel like most of your stories are from the
Just
road
all just
and-
opening for Tommy.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I think if you do any like all shows are like this, basically.
Yeah.
You guys know that. I've worked in like the Dakotas a lot. There's
okay.
a lot.
I've never been over there.
So it's
If you think Madison doesn't have a lot going on,
holy shit. They gotta import comedians from 8 hours away because
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody will pick up a microphone who's from there. But yeah, just like basically kind of the opposite of what Tommy just like people just kind of being openly racist with you because they're just like
With you?
You're a comedian. Yeah. You're
Now that's
like,
interesting.
They're like, you're one of us. You're one of us.
Basically, yeah, and it's like just the amount of times I've like had the N-word said to me by a white person in North Dakota after a show. Yeah, it's not funny. Yeah, that's why the actual bad road stories they are.
Yeah.
It's not fun out there. This is where we get back to like the hang, you know, because you're
There's some depressing stories
there
that are
is.
just not truly fun.
So
to
like
tell.
Yeah.
one of the worst
Yeah.
ones was just like basically you take these gigs and then you learn not to take gigs like that
Yeah.
anymore, like these one-nighters that don't pay very good and like you got to drive 6 hours and I go it's like it's a benefit show for like firefighters. I'm the opening comic and like I made the mistake of going into the hotel. I can't remember what I think it was called Dickinson, North Dakota, and it's like the venue is called the Angry Beaver. Okay, that's
feels
that's
right.
where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
And it's a benefit show for
I'm
the
off.
local firefighters.
Yeah. No
You
more.
don't do
No
charity.
more.
Yeah, you
That's
lost
the
me.
one thing
You
I knew
lost
about
me.
you before today. And I went to the hotel bar to grab a beer before the show, and immediately the guy, of course, the three guys sitting at the bar, the whatever stool pigeons, are going to the show. Of course, they sniff me out right away, city boy, and they just start being pretty openly racist. They were watching the college basketball tournament in North Dakota. They started calling it blacksketball. Pretty quick
I have
there.
not heard that one
That's pretty
before.
good. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'd never heard that one either.
Yeah.
And I wish I had.
Invented.
You know
I
what
don't
mean?
approve, but the writer in me respects it.
Yeah, I mean,
Tip of the hat, kind sir.
Hold on. Great.
Stay
Let's
away
do
from
this.
me, please.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think they would tip the cap to you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we went to the gig. Of course, they're horrible hecklers. They're not fun at all. I mean, and then this is like what all these like Dakota gigs are. Some of them are okay, but like it was basically like there was no real PA system, so it was like. It sounded like a ham radio, like you were broadcasting over a ham radio
Okay.
to do comedy. And basically I fell into a deep depression after that gig and kind of stopped working the road during the summer because it was just like...
I've heard this from a few people.
So in the Midwest, I think specifically working the road in the summer is tough because the winters are so bad here that nobody wants to, like... The shows just aren't as good in the summer, and it's like... It was just mentally, I was in a bad place because I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like not hanging out with my friends. I'm like giving up my weekend to go do this gig for these racist fucking idiots and do it out of a bad PA for $200. And so like,
Did they buy merch?
No, I don't. Actually, they. Oh, you know
like-
what? No, there was a cool guy there who wanted to buy. I was selling T-shirts at the time,
there
which
was one cool guy about 20
yeah, there was one.
shirts.
No, he promised he was going to buy some and then never did. He said he was going to order them from me online,
And that
never
makes him
fucking
cool?
did. Yeah,
You're like,
That's
wow.
the bar
that
for
was-
cool.
What a guy.
yeah, that was the bar at
Yeah.
that gig.
Yeah, but he didn't say a slur, so you're like, okay.
All
my
right,
bro.
I kind of like. I'm gonna hang out with him tonight. But yeah, I don't know. So I did. That was like a turning point for me where I was like, you don't say yes to every gig because this was
Yeah.
post-COVID and I was trying to work like as much as possible. And then there's a certain point where you just get diminishing returns on gigs like that.
Yeah.
So I just try to be a little bit more choosy about
We've
doing
had
stuff.
some guests on before that have also talked about taking breaks after particularly awful gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like, it's like this, the comedy and the way it's set up is like meant to break you down. Do you know what I mean? But it's like we all feel so guilty when we take a break.
Yeah.
But like, why? Because you're right. It's like you're giving up like all your nights, all your weekends to like go do these gigs, and then you just don't live a normal life. But then, of course, you're like, well, I still want to do it.
Yeah, because you just get FOMO because you're
Yeah.
like, if I'm not hustling and working,
Right.
somebody else is taking those gigs. Somebody else is getting their
Absolutely.
name out there.
Somebody
His
else
name's
is
If
Tommy.
you were in the car with Tommy,
Yeah, Tommy actually just texted me who books that.
You said it was Dickinson?
Yeah.
The Angry Beaver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna like
I'll be
my
there next
Waterloo
week.
jokes over there. This is gonna be the direct opposite. Nothing lands as soon as you say Waterloo.
Waterloo's gonna fucking-
But
Man,
so yeah,
I got some duck hunting bits that are gonna blow their tits off.
damn.
so I think there's a middle ground there where you go.
Yeah.
I'm actually not losing out on anything. I might be gaining things by not taking
Yeah.
the
You're
Dickinson.
gaining
Totally.
sanity.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like a night at home, like a normal weekend, basically.
Can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
wonders.
Yeah, or do a guest set in town.
Just
That's
to go
you're gonna
drink
be
it
better.
with your bud, Tommy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just go to Jamie's gig now for fun. You don't even
Exactly.
perform.
Oh, yeah,
you just
yeah.
go.
I'm just a
Just
regular
hang.
there.
yeah.
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 And I'll start heckling too. You know, I've always wanted to live that side of it.
Yeah.
You go there, you're like, this is pretty fun. What the fuck am I doing up there? I just
Great
be
time.
back here.
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
from out here.
I'm
And
crushing
no one
even
gets
harder.
mad. You flash, Tommy.
Except I would show whole. You know, not like.
Whoa.
There we go. You don't think she did?
I don't know.
We don't know what happened between him and Doreen. Hang on. They're in a
Yeah, there was
committed,
about a
exclusive
10-minute period
relationship.
where
Yeah.
both of them were not accounted for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll see her in 2 weeks. I can't wait. It's always awkward seeing your ex. It'll be interesting.
Well, shit. I mean, that's kind of a downer. No offense, but let's.
yeah. Okay. I just get really existential on the pod whenever we have people on.
Yeah,
It's
you
like-
do be thinking. And that's not what a podcast is for.
No,
true.
you gotta talk.
You guys have any good stories or any advice that you've learned that
Or something like really cool that happened to you, like
Yeah,
maybe
besides the
a headliner
flashing.
was particularly nice or something.
Let me go first and then
Okay,
you
yeah.
end because I really brought it down there.
That was my fault.
We had a cool weekend in Minneapolis. Michael Che
Very
was
fun.
doing a show in like southern Minnesota, some like private college gig, and then it was SNL off season, and he wanted to do a set, so he came like at 10 p.m. to the Sisyphus open mic and did like an hour there,
Holy
and then
shit.
stayed for the whole weekend.
Wow,
and
so
just
he
did
really burned the
comedy.
light.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. He burned the light. Yeah, but we didn't. I don't think we ever lit him. You know what? I'll be honest. With
Yeah,
you.
there was no light.
There
I've
we
heard
go,
that
there we
about
go.
him though, that he just pops up in
Yeah,
random
he's cool as
cities.
hell.
He did that in Seattle.
Yeah.
He just randomly
Yeah.
like put up a show at this small theater. And he was like, I don't even care. He literally was like a couple. He didn't care about selling it out. It was like
Nope.
a couple hours before the show went
and
on.
giving out spots. He had the time of
Yeah.
day for every
Yeah.
single person who wanted to come up and get a picture or just shoot the shit with him. He was like,
That's
it was like
a comics comic.
Exactly, and he
Yeah.
was like hung out, drank with us, shut down the bar like
Yeah.
2 nights in a row, and yeah, just oh, and so I was lucky enough to be. I was running the open mic at Sisyphus when he came through. It was incredibly stressful because we had done the entire show, and he was in the car on the way trying to do a set, and we had announced it that he was going to
okay.
be there, but I had to keep the show going for like. Probably 45 minutes longer than when
No.
it was
Wow.
scheduled to
Jesus.
end
That
because it
is
was
a
like a very
nightmare.
last minute thing.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. But then he did a don't tell the next night. Just he liked it so much that he decided to stay for the weekend. And then so at another club called Comedy Corner Underground, another indie club, I was also lucky enough to be running the open mic. We have a great open mic there on Friday nights, a late night open mic. And he did his don't tell and then wanted to come and host that open mic. Like this,
Michael
it's
Chase
like
hosting.
He
That's
sounds
insane.
like a fucking
so cool.
yeah, and
Hank.
yeah,
We're gonna bring it
truly,
back.
Yeah.
truly, and so yeah, I was lucky enough
That's
to be
awesome.
to be running both those shows and be able to kick it with him for a while, and yeah, I couldn't be a more gracious and cool guy, honestly. For somebody
Also-
at that level to be like like that is just kind of unheard of, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
it's
like
nuts.
so many, I've had so many assholes who are nowhere near his level. You know what I? So it's like speaking of,
We just drove down here today.
Also, kudos to you for running multiple mics. I think that's like one of the hardest things to do
I mean,
stand up.
those ones are. Thank you. But also those are very good mics, so it's fun and good to run them.
Yeah.
We're lucky we have a good open mic scene along with a good showcase.
That
scene
is
there,
very
so.
lucky.
Yeah, it is.
It's the best open mic scene. It's awesome.
A lot of people come there and they're like, "What the fuck is going on here? This is better than any show I've been on in any city." So that was great.
I love hearing stories like that.
So if you get the chance to kick it with Michael Che, that's my advice. Do it.
Advice for young comics out there: hang out with Michael Che.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Host an open mic, he'll show up.
And make it go like a couple hours long.
Yeah, it's got to be a long one.
Yeah. That's so. I that's always my favorite question for people is like, who's the best and worst headliner they worked with, and like it truly does it says so much about a person because like. It's so easy to to just be nice to people, but you truly notice when someone like goes out of their way and is like truly an extraordinary like headliner. It's just because it's such a stressful thing, and you're exhausted all the time. And then when someone's really nice to you, you're just like, this guy or girl is cool, you know. Yeah, I love that. Do you have a particularly positive one, Tommy?
Yeah, but it's kind of. Can I do like a 1 minute?
Please.
It's a negative start.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would expect nothing less from you, Tommy.
I can't go pure positive. I was lucky enough to open for Louis Anderson a little bit before the pandemic, before he died. And he's one of the greatest people that's ever lived. If you've never watched his stuff, or if you've never watched his stuff, go watch
I thought
it.
you said I've never watched his stuff.
I've never seen his stuff, but I've heard good things. No, he has maybe the best Carson set of all time. Go watch it.
Yeah.
So I opened for him at the Chicago Improv. The owner of the Chicago Improv knew we were both from big families from Minnesota. So she like bumped whoever was hosting. I had just gotten past her like a week before. And she's like, he needs to work with Louis.
Yeah,
and
fuck
so she
that other
set us
guy.
up. And
It was Grant.
Sorry about that. Why do you think I bring him to all these awesome gigs?
Another victim of the deep state.
Yeah.
put a hit on
Your
Grant.
personal 9/11, really.
So I was late to the first show because it took me.
You really wanted this gig.
It took. I like truly a scenario where I just got stuck in traffic, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get fired from the
Were you
first
having
biggest
the
gig."
worst anxiety?
I was a year into comedy. It was a nightmare. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was.
okay.
I was like, I was borrowing my sister's car. I was like, this. It took me 2.5 hours to get there, and it should have taken like an hour.
Okay.
It's whatever. I get there like 5 minutes before the show's supposed to start. I'm hosting, and the manager runs me back to the green room, and Louis, like without really even looking up, they were like, "Louis, this is Tommy," and he's like, "You're late," and I was like, "Yeah, hi, I'm so sorry, whatever," and he's like, "Are you funny?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "You're not very confident." Just right away, it was brutal. I go out there, have maybe a C+ host set.
Okay.
It was serviceable. It was fine. I was scared for my life. And then I'm in the green room, and he had brought a feature. And the feature is, like, loud. Like, talking a lot. And also, just side note, when I brought Louis on stage, I had to stay out on stage as he walked out there and help him sit down in a big old chair.
Okay.
So it's a process for him to get out there. He was a big dude.
Yeah.
And we're in the green room, and the feature's like talking, like this yelling. All of a sudden, it's me, the feature, and the owner. And all of a sudden, the door to the green room from the stage like busts open, and it's Louis. And he just goes, "Will you shut up?" Right in my face. He thinks I'm chit-chatting in the green room.
Feature, yeah.
I hadn't said a word. The guy he brought is telling all these stories, and I was like, "Yes, I will shut up. I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
Whatever. He leaves the room. Or he goes back on stage. And I couldn't imagine what it looked like when he was standing up because that's how mad he had to be. It was hard for him to stand up. So I'm freaking out, and the feature the whole time is like, "I'll apologize. It was my fault. I'll apologize afterwards." Louis comes back after the show, Feature doesn't say a word. He's clearly mad at all of us, and I eventually was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, it's fine, whatever. Even though I was not sorry. I was angry. Anyways,
You're just a beta.
that night, I go to, the next night, I Ubered out there because I couldn't borrow a car. And my Uber out there was $115. My host pay for the weekend is $150. And I have this theory: if my Uber is over $60, I'll fart in it. And that's a side note, but that's just more of a protest thing that I have. And
Comics, write this down.
yeah, and you're allowed to
Pro
fart
tips
over
over
60.
here.
100, you can poop your pants. But
Finally getting back at those Uber drivers. those well-off Uber
They've had it
drivers.
too good for too long. Those cars have smelled too nice.
Fuckers.
it's bullshit. So I'm like angry, whatever, and Louis pulls me aside and he's like, I know that wasn't you in the green room. So we had a
I
very.
thought you were saying, no, that wasn't you for
I know, no. He knew in the green room that that
I need
was
to know
me.
what your Uber
But
rating is, by the way.
it's like 4.82.
All right.
I don't know where that's at. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's good.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we start bonding because he knew it
Okay.
was his feature,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, I appreciate you taking the fall, whatever. So I'm like, I'm
I'm in.
in with
Yeah.
Louis. After the show, I was talking about how expensive the Ubers were, and he's like, "Well, Tommy, this is my friend Steve.
Yeah.
He's going back to the city. This is Louis saying this. He can drive you." And I was like, "All right, this guy seems a little weird, but maybe cool
Okay.
enough." I get in his car. We get on the highway, and he's like, "We just got to make one stop at my daughter's house." And I was like, "Perfect, dynameter." And
Is she 20?
and we get.
Turns out it was Jamie's husband. They're coming at you from all angles.
I'm spreading this rumor that
Next
you only
thing
date
I-
20-year-olds.
You're gonna get in that family, buddy.
Good. Next thing I know, we pull up to Heritage Harbor, and no, we pull up to his daughter's house. Daughter doesn't know he's coming. She's an estranged daughter. They don't like each other. She meets him in the front yard, and they have a shouting match. And it's me in the car with this man's girlfriend, also like 65. I don't know why it sounds weird to call her a girlfriend. She's 65.
That's weird.
She's a partner at that point. I don't know. And
A companion.
and they are screaming at each other like I didn't want you here, and he's like, I need to be part of my grandkid's life, and she's like, we don't want you.
You
And
hop out the car. You're like, I'm so sorry.
I'm straight up. I'm in the car, like, and his girlfriend is like, so how long you been doing comedy?
No.
And I'm just watching this man's life fall apart.
You're just ripping
In
ass
front
in here.
yard.
You're like, if my Uber driver has a domestic while I'm in it, I'm farting.
I got 2 rules.
It's another rule.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. He gets back in the car crying, and like doesn't address it.
You're like, should I
Yes.
drive?
Yes.
Yes.
I love
yes.
that he doesn't
He just
address
doesn't.
it.
He
Yeah.
sits down and he's like, "Well, let's get you home."
Can I just say? This sounds like a sketch from I Think You Should Leave.
Straight up,
like
it should have been him. He could have been Tim Robinson.
He's just the crooner all
The
the time.
driving crooner.
It was so bad, and then we get back. We're like still like 30 minutes from my house.
And it has to be like midnight or
It's
something,
so
right?
late.
Like,
Yes, it's
How long were they arguing?
in the front yard.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes. And that was a long.
Which in
five.
argument time, that's like an hour.
Oh my god, it's like
know?
watching Ariana do 6. You know, that was for the hour comment earlier.
Okay, I forget.
I told you I don't forget. So we get back in the car, and now like it's quiet for a while, and then they
Yeah.
start talking a little bit.
Okay.
The girlfriend, and she's like, "I told you we shouldn't have gone," and he's like, "I had to try." She's like, "No, I told you. She doesn't want you part of their life." And then now this escalates.
Oh.
And they're like,
And they're arguing about the argument.
They're arguing about the stop,
which I truly love.
yeah, and they had clearly discussed the stop before I got involved. Because
Oh, right. Before
there was
Louis.
stuff.
Okay.
I mean, she was pulling up material, like old stuff.
She had receipts.
Yes, exactly. She was like, last time we did this, but I told you. Yeah, like, it was
So
brutal.
you could say his estrangement from his daughter was his Waterloo.
Yeah.
He said,
tried.
he
5
said, I'm gonna
times.
make it stick.
Yeah.
And they're like, and now we're getting into Chicago, and they're like, they're yelling at each other, I told you we shouldn't have. He's like, I had to try. She's like, I could. And I'm like, it's just a left. It was the most uncomfortable I've ever been. And the best part is like the next night I go back for the Sunday show with Louis, and I'm like, Louis, your friend Steve is going through it. And he goes, I don't know that guy. I met him last night. He met this fucker in the merch line and pawned me off on him.
That's a true friend, though.
And and then
saved you 150
Yeah.
bucks.
the fun part is then me and Louis had a very fun friendship over like 3 years, and we talked about that story often. And I really don't think we would have been as close if it
that
wasn't
didn't happen.
if I hadn't suffered through that
Yeah.
free ride. To be fair,
Yeah.
didn't pay $115,
Yeah.
but it was one of the most uncomfortable.
Man, you got
moments of my life.
to witness so many fights in a short span of time.
It was wild.
I love a public fight.
Never seen I'm like from a passive family. Like we don't do that.
Yeah.
It's behind your back. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. Yeah.
So it's like I've never seen that. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Was he
rowdy.
crying when they were arguing too in the car? Or did he stop?
He had still kind of been. You know, like I had to try.
Well, you
that
have
kind
to
of
reach
thing.
out to Steve and see if he ever.
Yeah,
No, I
we
see
got to
you
get them on the pod.
You gotta
He,
reach out to Steve.
I'll say
Yeah.
this: he's a little bit more involved in the Chicago comedy scene than I knew at the time, because I've seen him a few times.
So we could get an update.
He's a big comedy.
You know
guy.
what?
We could get him on the
here's
pod.
Here's what I propose, you guys. I say the next live pod, we go down to Heritage Harbor and we bring Jamie on, and then surprise guest is Steve. We'll fly him out. We'll fly him out.
Yeah, this is
It'll
going to be a
good.
nightmare for you guys, but
Yeah.
we're going to love it.
We can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
This is gonna be your Burt Kreischer the Machine
Yes.
story.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing
yeah.
these amazing
Of course.
stories with us. We know you guys have a lot going on. Where can people find you?
You can just look me up on Instagram or TikTok at Grant Winkels. No, because I have different handles. At Grant Winkels
Okay.
on Instagram, Grant Winkels Comedy on TikTok, GrantWinkelsComedy.com. I also have a podcast called We Cool with a couple other great comics, one in New York, one in Minneapolis, and we get anonymous apologies from our listeners. They write in or call in things that
Which I love.
they can't admit to in their real lives, and they share them on our podcast, and we talk about them and
Oh, wow.
apologize for them.
I thought you were saying you make your listeners apologize to you.
I mean, it's come up. It's come more
I
often.
was saying, that's badass.
I mean, more often we're apologizing to them. I'll be honest.
I love that concept.
Yeah,
Can I
it's-
just say?
it's fun. Yeah.
That,
That's
I'm
like-
gonna listen. As
That's
soon
like,
as that-
out.
what was it fucking Delilah, the
Yeah.
radio person? How she would always do
love
like the
Delilah.
call-ins, you know? And they, dude, I heard
I
one.
swear to God, you're from the '60s. Like
I
you
know
have the
Delilah's still
most-
on.
Yeah, Delilah.
Yeah.
What
Which is
radio
like-
are you listening to?
Honestly, you get in the middle of the country, Delilah's on about 12.
Yeah. I think you're forgetting where you are, sister.
I feel like you guys are just mispronouncing Dalia, and I'm very uncomfortable right now. I'll be
No.
honest.
I heard one in Seattle one time. I completely forgot about this until now. I heard one. They were doing like a missed connection thing where you call in, and
Yeah.
it's usually like, I just want to send
They
this
still
song
do
out.
it. They
Yeah,
still
I want
do
to send
it.
this out to like
Yeah.
my girl Shonda, like whatever. Literally, this was the call. Call in, and they go, Steven, this is blah blah blah. I have your daughter. We are okay. Cut off. That was it. And then they played a song, and she
Is this
requested
Steven
a
from my
song with
story?
it. It was his girlfriend. It was his girlfriend. She was like, "I'm
they
gonna
had
make
to
it."
relocate to Seattle after that fight.
It was
That is-
so
Yes.
crazy.
Oh my
damn.
God, that's wild.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. Like I love a confessional. I love keep
Little
it
goss.
anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confess
Not
something
even
right
gossip,
now.
just like
I don't know where I was going to go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
on the spot. On the spot.
All right, where can people find you, Tommy?
I'm Some Kid Tommy on all the socials or somekidtommy.com.
And
for
how
show
did that
dates.
name come about? Sorry.
The first time I ever performed at the Laugh Factory in Chicago, one of the scene big dogs at the time went before me and,
Jeff
and
Asmus. No.
buried me. If it was Jeff Asmus, I would not. I would never give him credit for it. It was a guy who has since quit comedy, but I'm scared of him, so I won't say his name.
Okay.
And I bombed so hard. It was the first time I ever performed there, and I bombed really, really bad. And I was standing at the bar, just like thinking, and this guy who I thought was like at the top of the world at the time,
Okay.
because he was doing 12 instead of 10 at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Huge
deal.
He goes to the bartender, who's now one of my best friends, Joe. He goes, Joe goes, who went on before you? It was bad. And he goes, I don't know, some kid, Tommy, he sucked. And I was right behind him, and it haunted me so deeply that I changed all my Instagram or my social media handles to that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Again, very
kind of a
sadistic.
Take back. It's kind of a take it back situation.
Yeah. It's your N word.
Yeah, I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. Yeah, take that. I almost said his name. No, I'm still too scared of him.
I love that you're scared of him. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I actually think he got in trouble for saying the N-word on stage.
Good.
You don't
Ironically.
say
Yeah.
He said, "This is my N-word."
His N-word was unfortunately the N-word.
And you're like, yeah, that's
all
everybody's
comes back.
N-word.
It
That's
all
not,
comes back,
that's not
you know.
cool.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
Elliott, where can people find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Grent Radish, GrentRadish.
Do not ask him where that's from. Every single guest has asked where that's from. You guys can listen to the pod and find out.
I won't.
Yeah, that's how we get listens.
Yeah.
That's how we get the listens
Yeah,
up. Is
yeah,
my
you have
mistake.
to.
That's very
Yeah.
smart.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good.
Where can
I'm-
people find you, Ariana?
I'm just at Ariana Ramick on all social media. Easy, simple. If I don't
Yeah,
get
that's an
2
easy name to
followers from this,
spell.
it should be if you're smart.
Okay, all right.
If you're
No,
not Serbian.
We'll link everything out so you guys can
No
come.
comment.
You guys can no comment.
I thought we don't like them.
You have to say it in Cyrillic or else I won't.
I'll say it in
respond.
wingdings.
There you go.
Call back.
Boom.
I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have called it out. That was my bad.
This is your Waterloo.
The fuck is that supposed to be?
Napoleon.
Oh my God! Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yeah,
We
thank
really
you,
appreciate you guys. Give it
38,000
up for
people.
yourselves
Hey,
for
make a lot of
coming
noise
out.
right
Thank
now
you so
for
much.
Comedy on State, letting us do this here.
Yeah.
Big thing.
It's the best club in the world.
They packed 41,000 people
Yeah.
into this room. 3,000 came in while we
Yeah.
were recording, and they
Yes.
quietly got them in, so we want to thank them for that.
Yeah, Comedy on State, you rule. We love
Best
you guys.
club in the world.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks for
Over and
having
out.
us.